trinomial. All right? First thing we need to do is the first step, which is to check for a greatest common factor. Well, we have x squared plus 7x plus 6, okay? My smallest coefficient is 1. When you divide by 1 and divide anything by 1, you still get that same answer, that same term. So that's not helpful to us, okay? And I don't have an x for each term, so I can't divide by x. This is a trinomial, okay? So we are going to set it up using the x part of the x box. So first of all, you could start by saying a equals 1, b equals 7, and c is equal to 6. So I would go ahead and state those. Now, you might not have to do that. Let's open this up. Every single time, but I want you to know where I'm getting these values from. Then we draw the x. Okay? And up in the top part of the x, like we just put, we need to put our a value times the c value. So a times c, 1 times 6 gives me 6. And at the bottom here, we have b, and our b value is 7. Now, anytime you have this bottom b number that is more than the top, there's only one answer for your two factors that are going to be there. It has to be that number 1 and 6 itself. That is the only way you will get a number larger than the factor itself, than the product itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because this number is larger, the only thing that's going to work is 1 times 6. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So then, does anybody remember? I'm just asking. Does anybody remember what we would do next to get these factors? If you don't, that's fine. We have to find a multiple or something? Is that what you said? Okay. Here's what I'm going to do instead. Here's what I want to do from this point on. What I want you to do, once you have the x done, I want you to rewrite this problem. Okay, we are going to rewrite it as a 4-term problem. Okay, we are going to rewrite it with 4 terms. Right now it has 3. The first term is going to stay as the first term. So that's x squared. Okay. The middle term is going to be each of these terms with an x, because we know 1x plus 6x gave us that 7x that is in the middle. So we are rewriting the middle and breaking that 7x here into 1x plus 6x. And then the last term is going to stay the same as 6. Okay? So the first term stays the same, the last term stays the same, the middle term changes to the addition of these 2 terms that you have in the middle. Okay? Now I'm going to take these off. And now, since we have 4 terms, we are going to factor by grouping, which means you group the first 2 together and you group the last 2 together. Okay? As I look at these first 2, x squared plus 1x, what is the greatest common factor of those 2? Is there a number that's common to both? If so, it would be a 1, but that's not helpful. They both have x's. Can I factor out an x? Yes. How many x's can I factor out from each? 1. So that is your greatest common factor. When you divide that out, what do you have left? X squared divided by x. You had 2. You took away 1, so you have x to the first left, or just x, right? Plus x divided by x. That simplifies out, and you are left with 1. As I look at the next one, 6x plus 6. What's the greatest common factor there? 6, right. I can't take out an x because there's no x back here. So 6 is your greatest common factor. 6's simplify out. You get x. X plus 6 divided by 6 simplifies to be a 1. And I have to write something down, so I'm writing x plus 1. And right now you should be doing the happy dance because you have 2 of the same factors. So do the greatest common factor of those one more time. So x plus 1 comes out of the front, out to the front. And what you have left gets multiplied inside the second parentheses. So that's x and plus 6. And this is your final answer. As opposed to what? Yes, you have to do that because we are trying to find the factors. We're trying to find the 2 polynomial terms that multiply to give you your original term. Okay? I wish I had had just a little bit more space. So that is x plus 1 times x plus 6. For the test, yes. Huh? You need this. You need this. Okay? I'm going to erase that and put it down here.
What's the test?
We have a skills check next Thursday. The test is actually after Thanksgiving break. Okay?
We always got tests after breaks too. So like, what would we forget to do?
Well, because we can't push it all in before, I guess.
I'd rather do that.
You'd rather do that? I don't know. All right, when we come back, we'll finish up these last 2 problems. Last 2 problems. Okay, whoever's got the music on, please turn it off. Here we go. X squared minus 8x plus 12. So first of all, somebody at the door? Am I hearing things? Could be both. All right, let's do the X, or the diamond. I think it looks more like an X. Okay, so at the top, we are putting A times C. And if you forgot, A is equal to, what's my A value here? Aiden, please put that away. What's my A value? 1, thank you. B is equal to, class? -8. And C is equal to 12. Yes, so A times C is going to be positive 12. And B for the bottom is -8. So we are looking for factors of 12. Hey. Hello. Deviana. Come on. Looking for factors of 12 that add up to -8. Okay. One of these, well, not necessarily. Because this is positive, they both have to be the same sign. So it could be a negative times negative or a positive times positive. And because this is negative, it must be 2 negatives, right? So let's do 12. We got 1 and 12, 2 and 6. This is the audience participation. 3 and 4. So both of them have to be negative because when you multiply, you get a positive, and when you add, you get a larger negative. So the pair of numbers is going to be -2 and -6. -2 and -6. All right, so we are going to rewrite this trinomial as a 4-term figure, okay? The first term is going to stay the same. So x squared is going to stay the same. Minus 8x is going to change into minus 2x right here and minus 6x right here. And plus 12, your last term is also going to stay the same, plus 12. Now we are going to group these together. And I know I sometimes change this to plus and negative, but I'm not going to do that right now. So x squared minus 2x. What can I factor out of both of those terms? An x, right? So I can divide by x, I can divide by x. That means that x comes out in front. What do you have left after you take out one x? X minus 2. You had 2 x's here, you took away 1, you have 1 x left, and x divided by x leaves you with a minus 2. All right. And as I look at negative 6x and 12, notice I have a negative here. You have to factor out a negative. So what's going to be my greatest common factor here? Negative 6. So we're going to put minus 6 right here for negative 6. And when I divide that out, negative 6 divided by negative 6 leaves me with x. And 12 divided by negative 6 is minus 2. And you have the same greatest common factor there. We're doing the happy dance. So one more time for the greatest common factor. Put that x minus 2 out in front. And what do you have left? X and minus 6. How are we feeling about this? Show me your thumbs in front of your body. So not everybody has to say it. Are you feeling pretty good about this? Are you feeling sideways? Or are you feeling doomsday? Show me your thumbs. Ooh, too many doomsdays. All right. We got one more. And then I think I'm also going to do one of the homework problems with you. All right. X squared plus 3x minus 40. First off, I don't think I did this the last time. We should check for a greatest common factor. Always, greatest common factor. But I see my smallest coefficient is going to be 1. So that means there is no greatest common factor. And I have A is equal to 1. What's B equal to? Class? What's B equal to? What's B equal to? 3? And C is equal to negative 40. Okay. In a meeting today. Okay. All right. C equals negative 40. So let's go with the x. All right. What am I multiplying for the top part of the x? A times C. A times C is going to give you negative 40. Okay. What do I put in the bottom part of the x? B. And what is that B value? 3. So now I am looking for two factors of negative 40 that add up to 3. 2 factors of negative 40 that add up to 3. Okay? The fact that this is negative means 1 has to be negative. The fact that this is positive means that my larger factor is going to be positive. So let's write them down. We got 1 and 40, 2 and, guys, what's a factor with 2? 2 and what? 2 and 20. How about 3? No, how about 4? Yeah, 4 and 10. How about 5? 5 and 8. How about 6? No, how about 7? No. So we're looking at these. We just said 1 has to be negative. The larger one is going to be positive. So these are all positives, which means the other one is negative. When you add them together, what gives you a positive 3? Negative 5 and 8. Negative 5 and 8. All right, so we are going to rewrite this right here. Rewrite it. Okay? So start with the first term, which is x squared. First term stays the same. The middle 2 terms that you're going to write are these 2 terms that you found on the side. So that is minus 5x and plus 8x. And the last term stays the same at minus 40. Okay? Then we are looking at factoring by grouping. So group together these. As you look at x squared minus 5x, what is the greatest common factor? An x, right? You can take out 1x, so that x comes out in front. What do you have left when you divide? You have x squared divided by x. You had 2 x's, and you take 1 away, so you have 1 left. Minus 5x divided by x. These x's are going to simplify out. You're left with 5. Okay, then you have, and look at 8x minus 40. What do those two have for their greatest common factor? What? 8, right? So factor out plus 8. 8x divided by 8 simplifies out to be x. And negative 40 divided by 8 is minus 5. Negative divided by positive is minus 5. Here are your greatest common factors for those 2 terms. Bring that out in front. What do you have left? X plus 8. And that is your final answer. Okay. All right. Any questions about that last problem? Maybe I need to write a little bit smaller, because that looks like a lot. That's a lot? Well, wait till you get to upper level math. Then it'll be a lot. All right. On Monday, we are going to start on factoring trinomials where the a is larger than 1. We will still use this same exact process. Okay? Right now, what I would like for you to do is